Been a while since we talked the Indiana Hoosiers. Cart, I have some practice rumblings, and I'd like to play a little practice intel rumblings rumors game with you. Does that work?
I wouldn't mind that whatsoever.
So I had a Twitter account that I believe is just an Indiana fan. Messaged me and was like, "Hey, hearing Indiana practice stuff from a good source. Do you want to hear it?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." I'm not saying that we're making a video entirely off of those rumblings, because I don't know whether or not to believe these rumblings or not. But I do think we can take them and make a fun little game out of it of like, do you buy this? Yes or no? So that's what I'd like to do. I'm proposing we do that. Are you good with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay. I will say I did run this up the ladder a little bit. I don't have great Indiana sources. Like I don't have any person I can talk to that's actually seen this with their own eyes. But I didn't just like get this DM and not vet it at all. I sent some of this to someone that could try and get a yes or a no on it. Most of this has been backed up as like, yeah, that reflects positively on what I've been seeing. So there's individual player stuff that was sent here, and I'll just kind of go through it. The first player on the list, go ahead and guess who the first player with bullet points that was sent to me was.
I'm gonna guess Ja'Kai Newton.
Ja'Kai Newton is the very first name. It's a great guess by you. Ja'Kai Newton, basically, he's an athletic freak. Like, just they're all completely wowed by speed, strength, jumping ability, everything. Like, he's an athlete they have not seen in a very long time. Do you buy that?
I do buy that because I think he was that before he got hurt, and also like there's footage of this dude like hitting the highest point on the vertical test,
Interesting.
and
Okay.
and also he's shaped like a football player.
I buy the athleticism. We've seen the athleticism. I don't know if athleticism like that translates to being a good basketball player at all. Like I'd almost
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like athletic wise, like
yeah.
yeah, he passes the test.
It's kind of Doug Anderson-y though, right? Respect to Doug
At
Anderson, but
at the I thought it's a little disrespectful to Ja'Kai, but like I get what you're getting at there.
just like I would almost rather the Ja'Kai Newton updates be something that aren't about his athleticism.
Yeah.
There is one here though. And again, we're playing do you buy this, yes or no? The quote on Ja'Kai from this one is he has a real chance to be the best guard defender Indiana has had since the Tom Crean era by the end of his career.
I don't know if I'm buying that.
I don't buy that at all. I just don't. We're throwing that one out the window. Player two on the list was Miles Rice. Say Miles,
You didn't give me a chance to
do
guess.
you want to guess all the rest of them? We can go in order.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
I don't know if these are in order or not, but Miles Rice was next. Lots of bullet points on Miles Rice just being one of the best players in the gym. They said his work ethic and leadership are the most impressive thing. Like he's waking up super early hours in the morning. He's pretty much already become the leader on this team. Coaches believe he has a chance to be the best leader since Yogi Ferrell. Also seems to me like a pass first point guard.
Hmm.
What does that mean? Do you buy the leadership and pass first stuff, and then what does it mean?
The thing is, my thoughts on Indiana are Miles Rice being a bucket. Like I don't want him to be a pat. I don't. Why are we turn? I don't want to turn him into like pass first. I don't want him to become Dewan Harris. I want him to be a guy who's scoring like 14 points a game.
I mean, Dwan Harris with a jumper would be incredible, though. I
He
guess it
would.
just comes down to the jumper.
I'm talking about mentality wise. Is he like out there looking just to create for others,
Yeah.
being passive?
Funny quote here. Talking with Luke Goody. Goody says Miles is the best pure point guard he's played with in his basketball career.
Luke Goody said that.
Yeah.
Ooh, spicy.
Is it spicy? Luke Goody's never played with a point guard, has he?
Did he play with Io? Didn't he?
I don't think so. Did he?
Maybe he didn't. Okay, if not, if that's the case, then yeah,
Maybe
no.
he did. Maybe Luke Goody's freshman year matched up with Io. I was interpreting that quote as in like, yeah, no shit, Luke. You haven't played with a point guard in 2 years, you know?
That aligns.
Yeah. Basically, not a bad word to be said about Miles Rice, though. Everybody loves him. Guess who's third on the list?
Mr. Cups.
Gabe Cobbs. Did he DM this to you too?
Yeah.
That's evil. Apparently Gabe's been top 3 on the team in 3-point drills. Work ethic's insane. He does personal workouts before team workouts. That's how you get to the point where you can deadlift whatever the hell Gabe Cups deadlifts. Said here there is a little bit of negativity. I still don't see him making a big impact offensively. He struggles to create space and shot separation, but could be a good bench piece. Seems about on par. Do you buy that he's top 3 in shooting drills though?
I actually do, because I think that Gabe is like a knockdown. The thing about it is that Gabe is too, because he can't create his own shot and because he's undersized, like he needs just to be a guy who gets semi-open looks created for him, and then he has to knock them down. So like empty gym setting, like give him a rack of like 10 balls. I don't doubt that he's just knocking them down.
Yeah.
That makes that makes sense to me.
I buy it too. I don't think it's good for Indiana though. Like if Gabe Cups is one of your 3 shooters, that means you don't have a lot of shooters to me.
Right, because if things go as planned, Gabe Cups shouldn't play much.
Right. Next on the list is Anthony Leal. We're going to skip him though. Next on the list after that is Malik Renu. Quote, probably the best player in the gym. He was pretty much unstoppable in the scrimmages.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You buy that?
Damn, skip, yeah, buy that.
Okay, let's get to this one. Do you buy that his right hand has gotten a lot better? Because I do not buy that one.
I don't buy that one bit. That's the Hunter Dickinson. I'm using my right hand more. It ain't none.
The only negative that was mentioned from Malik is his ball handling still needs some work, but like if that came together, there's belief he could be one of the very best players in the country, not just the Big Ten. I do think maybe there's a chance that we're sleeping on, or I'm sleeping on Malik Renu a little bit, because I think he's a good, not great player. There is definitely a world where Malik Renu is the best player on this team. Next up's Bryson Tucker. Said offensively, he's been as advertised, true 5-star kid. Like the mid-range is automatic. Dribble pull-ups are pro level. Then a lot of he needs to get better defensively. Might be a year away, needs to get better. I read the Bryson Tucker comments as if, yeah, he'll play, but if we're already talking year 2 in the middle of praising Bryson Tucker, I don't think that's what Bryson Tucker wants to hear, number 1. And number 2, that would indicate to me they don't plan on him being a big portion of the on-court stuff.
And number 3, good on Bryson Tucker for getting that bag immediately. Sure. Like, I don't know. I mean, good on Indiana. It doesn't matter, but paying that much for a dude, we're already talking about year 2.
Yeah, for sure. The most interesting one here to me is Cannon Carlisle. He's been gone pretty much all offseason at the Chris Paul Elite Camp. But apparently athletically, speed, quickness-wise, of the rotation guys, he's just faster and better and ahead of all those guys. That's not shocking to me because the team essentially plays 3 bigs and Miles Rice, who's not the quickest guard in the world. Luke Goody said, and he told us this on the show, I feel like, Carlisle's the fastest, most explosive player I've ever played with outside of Terrence Shannon, but right up there with him. You don't buy that. You're shaking your head.
You lost me at right up there with him.
So fastest outside of Terrence is okay. Right up there with him is a step too far.
That's taking it too far, Lucas.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently he's special in transition. And then we got a quote from Langdon Hatton on Cannon Carlisle. K9 is the best player I've played with or against.
Okay, with checks out. Would love to see who Langdon Hatton has played against. I cannot confirm or deny.
So, number 1, K9. Are we in on that nickname? That was the Kenneth Walker.
Is he number 9?
I would assume so.
I'm out.
We don't like the number 9?
No.
Okay. Here would be my question. Langdon Hatton saying he's the best player I've played against. Does that include all the other Indiana teammates? Are you implying Cannon Carlisle is the best player on this team? Because that quote would imply that to me, that Langdon Hatton thinks Cannon Carlisle is the best player on this team.
Ooh, I didn't look at it that way. I was just talking about previous.
Well, why is Cannon Carlisle the only one that counts? Like, unless he played Langdon Hatton, and I don't know about it. I
don't think. Where did Langdon Hatton come from again?
I forget. I should know this, but I don't.
forgot. He came from Bellarmine?
That sounds right. Bellarmine.
Bellarmine, sorry. Is it Bellarmine or Bellarmine?
I think it's Bellarmine, like
Oh,
margarine.
like butter. Okay, well, okay. No, we're gonna put it. Let's see who they. I just want to make sure like that's the best. I mean, I'm going through the game logs of 2023. I mean, that probably checks out.
Okay. Let's just move on. But for the record, I don't buy that Cannon Carlisle's the best player Langdon Hatton's ever seen. But I think it's good. I think it speaks to the fact that Cannon Carlisle could be a big part of this team. Luke Goody's been the best 3-point shooter
Oh,
in the gym all
so,
summer.
okay, sorry. Landon had confirmed liar.
Why?
Because they played some dogs in their time. Like
Who'd they
2
play?
years ago, he played UK, they played UCLA, they played BYU last year, they played Duke.
Yeah, it's a lie. Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
Liar. Luke Goody, best shooter in the gym all summer. We buy that, obviously, right?
yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. I feel like the Luke Goody scout's very on point. There's like, yeah, defensively he needs to improve. Spoiler alert, I don't think Luke Goody's going to improve defensively at this point in his career. That's no disrespect to my guy Luke. Love you, Luke. Would welcome you back with open arms on the show. But I also think Luke would sit here with us and be like, yeah, I'm 22. There's no like defensive upside you haven't seen yet. You know?
Yeah, and like this is how he was raised. Like he's
Right.
got Illinois in him. It's defense optional.
Right. You will notice the two important names to me. Man, Indiana's talented. I was like, oh, there's only two names left, but we also have Trey Galloway. We haven't mentioned Ballo and Mbako yet. Umar Ballo's next on the list. Basically, everybody knew what they were getting with Ballo, and he's been every bit of that. An immovable object. He's more polished offensively than people expected. Free throw shooting's horrible, but he's trying to change his form.
Yeah, it's gonna get more horrible.
Yeah, that's just accept it. You can't shoot free throws. But then so in multiple bullet points, Car early on in the paragraphs, we get he's a lot more polished offensively with good array of moves. And then a few bullet points later, we get very limited offensively due to his lack of shooting. So which one is it?
Maybe it's more so like he's got a jump hook.
So is he
So
very limited or is he more polished than we thought?
he's limited offensively because he can't score outside of 4 feet.
If all of this is true, I think you're right and I'm wrong about who's better between Renu and Ballo.
I'm gonna take that to my grave.
But also, like, Ballo doesn't even need to have a hook to get a double-double. He wakes
No,
up
he
in the
doesn't.
morning and gets
But
12 and 10.
yeah, true.
So I don't know. Mackenzie Mbako, I was disappointed he was so low on the list, but maybe the order means nothing. Apparently, his shot making's been special. He's been second on the team behind Goody, presumably in 3-point drills.
How many players are in the top 3 of these shooting drills? We need to check facts on this.
I think the implied 3 is Goody, Mbako, Cups in that order.
Okay.
I don't think there's anybody else we're missing. There wasn't a shooting cell on Rice and Carlisle.
There wasn't? Okay. All right. That makes
No.
sense.
Which honestly should terrify you, Indiana fans. There's nothing about Rice and Carlisle hitting shots. That's the whole question mark here.
That's not good.
It's not great. But if Mbako looks like a lottery pick, that's good. And there's all Big Ten first team type hype for Mackenzie Mbako.
All right then.
And then Galloway's just been hurt. He's been out after surgery. That's the update on Galloway. So there's everything. I feel like we believe most of that. Are we gullible?
So this Galloway injury, like this says like I've been told stats hopeful to have him back by the start of the year. Does that mean like by the first game? Like is he missing all offseason?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a thing. That's not good.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Like that. Okay.
I mean, they have the depth and talent to survive it, I think. Like, man, Bryson Tucker and Luke Goody is the backup option to Trey Galloway for the 6th man role. So
True.
I think they're fine. But yeah, my takeaway is just I feel stronger about everything we already believed about Indiana. This team has insane amounts of talent. It comes down to like, can Ballo and Renu play together? Mbako's great. They got 3 different guys who could presumably end up on the first team All Big Ten list, but their entire season's going to come down to shooting and can the guards make shots? And if there's not a lot of smoke on that in practice early, I'm kind of a little eyebrow raising to that. Like, I don't want to hear about Indiana's talent. I want to hear them doing the things that maybe people thought they couldn't do, you know?
Yeah. Also, no bullet points on one of the biggest question marks.
Mike Woodson.
Yeah.
Did Mike Woodson set his alarm today?
Was he there?
Car, you know what I love about you?
That I'm handsome?
You're reliable. I can count on you. Honestly, you remind me of Aaron Henry a little bit. Remember when, their back was against the wall, nothing was going right, and man just showed up every day. He didn't make excuses. There were no problems. There were just solutions.
Sounds like me.
That's you. And it also reminds me of Duncan Mechanical Solutions, because if you're looking for quality furnace repair, look no further than the heating and air experts that you can trust. Comfort and quality are their standard. They're an HVAC company that serves Northeast Indiana and Southern Michigan, whether it's heating and air conditioning, plumbing, kitchen and bath remodeling, or emergency services when you need them most. Duncan Mechanical Solutions has reliable service that you can count on. Cart, remember when your basement almost exploded?
I remember when my basement almost exploded. I remember when my furnace itself was acting funny. I remember when my AC was acting funny. I wish I had Duncan in my back pocket. I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been anywhere in northern Indiana or southern Michigan that hasn't been perfectly cool or perfectly warm, depending on when the day called for. And that's because of Duncan Mechanical Solutions. They are the presenting sponsor for the month of July. Shout out to Duncan Mechanical Solutions. Go to duncanmechanicalsolutions.com to learn more.